Good morning. Okay, two more of these to go. I'm going to do an abracadabra. Hopefully the next video after this one will have two extra pieces on there. Voila. Well, my magic trick didn't work. The wind blew the camera over. But there are 9 frames. 6, 7, or maybe even 8 are in good shape. There's one that's got to be reworked. But that's towards the bottom of the pile. Anyway, I've been thinking about standing these up, well, for months. And it's getting real here all of a sudden. There's still a lot more thinking. The basic current plan, the excavator actually can reach up higher than the bottom rafter. It's not a rafter, God, I don't know, board, piece of metal. It does have a name. It's supposed to be 12.5 feet from the ground. The excavator, I think, goes up 13 feet. So the first thought is use the excavator just to bring it over, hook the legs up to it, adjust for height, because I got a little height issue on my 2 baseboards there. Those can be adjusted when hooking the legs up. The max you can offset that swage lock is 1 3/4 inches, and I think all I need is 1 3/4 inches on, and I got 2 swages, so I'm in good shape. Anyway, so bring the truss system over, get it about 13 feet away from that last pin, put the legs on the right length, and then probably support it in the middle. So basically it's just lying flat, and it should be lying on top of all these supports, all these little footing supports, and get it all close. And then once it's close, I'm going to use the excavator to lift up this end higher than the trailer. Once that's higher than the trailer and out of the way, and back the trailer in here, and actually what I got to do is measure how high the trailer is off the ground when it's fully extended or fully up. But even if it's fully up and it's not like over 13 feet off the ground to the top, I'm thinking of just putting some wood to extend the length of that trailer, so I do get that. But before we get too much older, let's measure how high that goes up. Isn't that interesting? The top of the roller for the cover is 12 feet 5 inches. Almost perfect. Huh. And you know what I'm thinking? I just bury the two bottom of the legs into the post, that last post over there, and then back this trailer up to the lifted truss by the excavator. And once it touches, which should be somewhere in there maybe, if I just start lifting this up, will it push it up? It's going to be interesting, but I think this might work. Especially if I give myself an extra couple of feet of length so it's up higher in the air. And then if I stand it up, if I can get it perpendicular, I should be able to work it onto the pins. And if it falls that way, the excavator should be able to just stop it. Sounds exciting. We'll see how it goes. Good afternoon. I think I'm potentially overthinking this a little bit. I'm just going to try to get this first one over here and analyze it from this position. First trial. No clue, but just kind of going for it. bald-headed eagles. It's kind of close. Goody lordy. I haven't got any. I need some bracing to, as I tear it up, I need to hold it up. So I guess I need to make some wooden bracing. Well, this is progress. Huh. They look pretty good. I mean, look, that's parallel with the base rail. And this one's looks parallel with the base rail. It's like it's gonna start okay. All I gotta do is lift it up and push a little bit forward. Those two will lock on. I just gotta keep rearranging my height. So I need bracing. All right, let's work on that. I'll be back. Well, it's hot. It's coming up on 2 o'clock. The wind's starting to blow. I've conquered a very big part of this puzzle. Getting him to this spot I thought was going to be a little tougher than it was. So, I need to think about this tonight. Probably I got to be able to lift it with the excavator without tying it, because if it's tied up there high, how am I going to get it untied? So I think the bucket's going to come out and the thumb is going to do most of the lifting, at least temporarily at the beginning. But we can get it up, 4 feet, and that should actually lock these in somewhat. Brace it at 4 feet, and then go to some other level and then brace it. Hopefully we'll do this with no wind. And then when it gets to the point where like I can't even reach it with the excavator, it's going to be high enough to where I can almost push it in place, or use the bracing down below and just a longer piece of bracing and just keep kicking it along until it gets vertical, and then tap these in. This is the dangerous one. I mean, when I get to that point, I could, like I said, put the excavator on the other side, stick it up as high as I can, and if I do overshoot, theoretically that should stay in that channel somewhat, the sides, and it should drop in once it gets vertical. All right, that might be the way how tomorrow starts out. All right, see you tomorrow. A lot of thinking.